Hello everyone. I'm sorry for the poor quality and weird lighting. I'm in my car, but I was just out and about getting a smoothie, scrolling on Facebook, being the normal teenager social media person that I am. I'm not texting and driving, by the way. I'm in the parking lot. And I came across a video and it said graphic video, suicide warning, don't watch this unless you have the heart to. And I didn't want to click on it, but something told me to, and it ended up not being a suicide, someone trying to commit suicide, thankfully. But I didn't know why such a graphic video would be allowed on a social media platform. We do live in a world where we have Facebook Live, where people take advantage of the fact that they can be so public and they do very inhumane things and they post them on the internet. But usually social media platforms do a pretty good job of taking out such graphic things because out of respect of the person who's being harmed, we don't need to be watching someone else's misfortune. And so when I saw that there was a suicide video, I was kind of uncomfortable, but I saw that there are a lot of reactions to it, and I was just curious why. And it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and so I thought that maybe the people were doing something to promote mental health awareness, and that they weren't going to show the full thing. But it turns out that this video was a joke, and it actually was mimicking a suicide attempt. And suicide is a very it's death, essentially. It's someone who believes that they need to take their own life because they feel like they're not good enough to live anymore. And it's a very sad thing. I don't really know how to describe it or talk about it. Sorry for my car noises beeping at me. And the fact that someone took this video and dramatized, I don't know, and mimicked a suicide attempt really kind of frustrated me, but it prompted me to talk with you guys just about my views on mental health and suicide and all of that stuff. So I'm usually pretty vocal about the fact that I struggle with anxiety, depression, and stuff. And a couple of weeks ago, my grandmother passed away from dementia. I consider that mental health because, you know, it's deterioration of the brain, starting with the memory, and it's a very sad progression, and it progressionally gets worse, and that it's a very sad disease. That person is completely not in control of their actions or anything, and they can become completely helpless. But suicide is one of those things you really have to feel so low about yourself and think that nobody cares about you and will not care about your lack of existence anymore to want to kill yourself. And the way that people do it really shows how they're feeling. We all know there's different ways to commit suicide. I'm not gonna explain them because I don't want to trigger anybody, and I don't think it's appropriate to explain, but there are different ways to do it, and they tell a story, even in the death of someone, how they were feeling in order to commit suicide. And I think that too many people make fun of mental health, and they especially just throw around the words, I'm gonna kill myself, or kill yourself, way too much for something that's so prevalent. By the time I'm done making this video, if you're counting in 40 seconds and then you add the total times of 40 seconds towards the end of this video, you can calculate how many people have died because they committed suicide while I'm making this video, because people do commit suicide every 40 seconds. That's not even a minute long, guys. Every 40 seconds someone takes their own life because they feel like they're incapable of living and that they don't have anybody that cares about them. And it's just, why do we live in this world? Like, why do we make videos that mimic people's deepest, darkest moments and then put it online for likes and views when you could use your words and your talents to help people? I really, really, really believe I'm a big, 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 big condoner of checking in on people and making sure that they're okay. It doesn't take, you don't have to do anything extravagant to show someone that you care about them. It's really the little things that matter. And if you text your friends and ask them how they're doing, if you notice that there's a problem, or even just tell them to have a good day because you care about them, it can really make a difference in their life. But if you're one of those people who asks how someone is doing and then kind of cuts that person off because you actually don't care, or you don't want to hear about something that's negative, or you do throw around the words kill yourself or I'm gonna kill myself, people are watching you, and you never know who is watching you, and that is a problem because social media is such a public thing, and what you say, you can't take that back. Once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. You can delete it, but we've seen it, and you can't take it back. And the words that you say in real life do have an impact on people. So if you ask someone how they're doing, and you don't actually care how they're doing, that person will not be truthful to you, and they won't consider you really as someone who is trustworthy or as a true friend. And that kind of stinks because I would want someone to come to me and tell me if they were having a hard time. I want to help people. I want to make their lives better. I want them to see that they're worthy of living, because I know what it feels like to have the other kind of feeling. And so I'm never gonna ask someone how they're feeling just so that I can hear the good reply that we all seem to get and then walk away, because that we've become too okay with that, and too okay with just saying that we're good even when we could have had the worst day of our whole life, because we don't know who's there for us and who's not. And so when I see videos like this, it just promotes that kind of attitude that we can just make fun of things that they're not funny. They're just not, it's not funny. There are so many other jokes that we can tell that have nothing to do with harming someone or harming somebody else, and we still choose to praise the people and like and comment and share and subscribe to people that promote the wrong thing. I'm really tired of seeing people get rewarded for doing the most outrageous things in the whole world. People do great things every single day, and those people get swept under the rug because Danielle wants to fight her mom, and these people want to make fake suicide videos, and it's just really, really sick. But I'm just here also to say to anyone, if you do feel like you need to, if you feel like you want to commit suicide, if you are suicidal, if you are depressed, if you're anxious, if you're having suicidal thoughts, you can talk to me. I will say that I'm not a trained professional, and I cannot help you like a trained professional can, but I want you to know that you can always talk to me if you are feeling down and you need someone to confide in, because I truly mean that. I really want everybody to be okay, and I really want to be there for everybody and just make sure that maybe I can make their day better. That's just what I want. But at the end of the day, I'm not a trained professional, and I can't put your life in my hands in that resort, but I know what it's like to be depressed and to have those feelings, and I don't want anybody to have those feelings. And so I just want you guys to know, like, I'm a safe person to go to. I'm not going to make fun of you for the way that you feel. I'm never going to post something that makes fun in the slightest of mental health. This needs to stop. The stigma is insane. People won't get help because they don't want to be stigmatized, and rightfully so, because it's a scary thing to admit that you take pills, or you go to see a therapist. People automatically are like, oh. And once you see that look on someone's face, you never want to say anything about it ever again, because of the stigma that surrounds mental health. And it's like, your brain is your entire essence of your being, and it needs to be healthy for you to have a good life and for you to have a good impact on other people's lives. And so I don't understand why people don't want or don't care about mental health like the same way that they would care about physical health. You wouldn't make a joke about cancer, so please don't make a joke about suicide. Don't make a joke about any mental health. Don't make a joke about any physical health problems that anybody is having. Like, this world is hard enough, and we really don't need to contribute to the hate and make more people feel isolated to the point where the only way that they can find reprieve is through killing themselves. So I just ask that we kind of have more sensitive hearts, and we keep more open minds, and we check on our friends, and we try to make sure that we're not doing anything that may be sending little messages to people that we don't care about them, because that's the last thing that I think anybody wants to be doing. I don't think it's always intentional. And so I just ask that we be more careful, because this world is hard enough, and we all really just need to band together and love each other, support each other, and just help each other through these hard times. So I'm sorry that this video is so long, but thank you for watching. I just, like, after I saw that, I felt very strong emotions that weighed on my heart, and I wanted to share with you guys. So yeah, thank you for watching, and please just be more mindful and just supportive of each other rather than dismissive of each other. Thanks.